back to Dirty Hands Woodworking. Today, as you see, we're going to make one of these beautiful cedar 3-tier planters. Super simple. You only need basically 6 pieces. No, you need more than 6 pieces. You need 6 templates. We make so many of these, we already have the templates pre-made. We just keep them. Mother's Day is coming right around the corner. These are perfect for Mother's Day. We sell them in a 1-tier, a 2-tier, or a 3-tier, $10, $20, and $30. That's it. All cedar, exterior fasteners. We're going to show you how to make one right after this. Alright guys, like we said, this is a simple project. We use a table saw, miter saw, and a narrow crown stapler. That's all we use. That's it. And oh, we got a pencil. And of course your safety glasses, but you know, those are not optional, So we have the end of our boxes here. These are 5.5 by 5.5. You have your front and back of your planter box. These are going to be 16-inch by 5.5. This is all made out of fence pickets. These pickets are here in Missouri around about $4 a piece, give or take. These are cedar. Very, very minimum waste. We'll show you that in just a little bit. Then you got your 2 legs. You got your back leg, your front leg. Put it on there, right there we go, just like that. Again, these are ripped out of 1 picket. You can get 3 6-foot strips out of this. And then you have a little bit left that we're going to use for another project coming up on the channel very, very shortly. Let's just say lanterns. You guys run with it. You guys figure out what we're making. But that's it. And then the bottom piece for the bottom, when I first started making these, we would cut all of them 16. Well, they fit up inside the box, so they're not going to be 16. So we don't cut the bottom. We assemble the box, then we cut the bottom to fit every one, because each slat might be thicker or thinner than the other. We like a tight fit. So we're going to start ripping those. For this project, we were able to actually, we've got some scrap that we're going to use for the longer leg pieces. And then there'll be 1 16-inch piece across the back, just a stringer to hold the 2 legs from kicking in or out. So let's get started. We're going to rip this stuff first. So that's done. That's the loud part. So let's get those 2 ripped. And yeah, let's go. We've already got our table saw set up, 1.5 wide. Ripping we need on these to cut these pieces here. Let's see, we'll lay these out. These are on a 30-degree angle is what we figured, what we build ours on. We're actually going to cheat. We're going to double them up, cut them all at once. Cut them both at once. Here, blogs! Remember, save your scraps. Someone might need to stay warm tonight. Joke about that, but we have people all the time come to the shop asking if we have any scraps that they can have. I don't have a problem with that at all. You know, we love helping others. So we need 2 of these. Lay these out real quick, and I think we're going to be able to. We'll lay our 16-inch piece as well. This is going to be 24 inches tall, total height. I had a tape measure. I don't even have a tape measure here, guys. What kind of woodworker am I? I don't even have a tape measure laying right here. I think we moved it this weekend when we were having our flea market. Somebody was in here needing something measured. So, no biggie. We will suffice. We're going to end up with this much scrap. But that is long enough for one of the one-tier planners, so we're not going to throw that away. We are not going to throw that away. These are on 90s. Again, we'll save this piece. We'll lay it right over here. We've got a stack already scrap pieces that we need. So these, the fence pickets, are not always square on the ends. They are not. So I always square them up first. Take as little off as possible. That way you can still use as much of the board as you need to. Since we are making 3 planters, we need 6 of these. So again, we doubled this board up. So basically all we have to do is 3 cuts. Start for another planter box, so which is always cool. That's our planter, that's our leg, that's our 2 legs. We're gonna go get the air compressor started up. Once that is aired up, we'll be right back. Now that the air compressor is finally done airing up, it's just so loud. We're going to start throwing these boxes together. Now, we're not going to show you all 3 boxes being put together. It's very repetitive, very loud. When we start nailing, we will try to bring down the sound a little bit because it is extremely loud. And I understand some people watch and listen on earphones. So we're going to start stapling. Here we go. We usually put 4 staples in each end. Flip it over, do it again. Spin it. Try to make at least one side top or bottom flush as well as the outside. And then basically I look, that's a pretty clean front. It's got a couple knots in it. I think I want the knots to the front actually. It gives some character to the piece. Let's see. It doesn't really, on this one doesn't really matter top or bottom, it looks like. And then we always measure them, like I said. This one is 14 7/8. I had one the other day that was 15 1/8. It just depends on how thick the ends are, how thick the last board was that was cut. Where'd my pen go? Where'd my pen go? I laid it down over there. It's a different pencil. So if anybody has any extra pencils you want to get rid of, go ahead and send them to me. I'll put my P.O. box down below. I can always use pencil. Alright, so that's as easy as that. Just slide it in. Might need a little bit of persuasion. That's it. I like it tight. It's good and flush. We put 3 staples on the sides, 2 on each end, all the way around. Here we go. That's all 3 boxes put together. Now all we got to do is figure out which one we want on top, bottom, middle, put the legs on, space them out. We're ready to go. Does not take long if you have the right tools. All 3 boxes, as you watched me measure the bottom, all 3 bottoms were different. These outside pickets, they're just a little bit different on size. We have one over there right now actually that I'm going to be taking back to the lumber yard because it's a 1/2 inch thick all the way through. I didn't notice it. I was in a hurry, just threw it in the truck. It's way too thin for what we do. So let's call this one the top. Let's just call this one the top while we're doing it. So this is going to be our back. There's a crack in it, I just noticed. So we're going to put that to the back. We just take our back leg all the way to the top. This is 24 inches from floor to top. 5 staples. Take your leg as your tapers. Line your taper up with the top of your box here. And then you want to swing your leg out to the bottom front corner of your planter box. There we go. 5 staples on that. We do the same thing on the other side. Now, the next part is where it gets a little fun and tricky sometimes. Spacing out the planters going up or going down, whichever way you want to look at it. we have some 1-inch here pine that we used for another project years ago, and it's perfect for spacing these out. We just lay it on the bottom here of the planter itself. Take the next one, slide it in the legs. It should be a tight fit. So you want the top of this one on the runners there, and then you want to slide this front corner so it's even with the outside, with the front of the leg. You want to make sure it's flat as well. We built one the other day and it wasn't right. Had to tear it back apart. But that's me being stickler, so. Always want to make sure you got staples too. Felt like it was dry fire in there, but it wasn't. Throw the last 5 in here. Take out our spacer. Sometimes it can be tight. Sometimes it loose. There we go. And we have a 3-tiered planter. All we got to do now is we flip it to one side. I like to take my longer spacer. I just lay it on the back leg on the underside, even with the bottom, but the stringer up to it. Press down, that's enough weight. Hold it, pressure. Throw 3 staples in, flip it over, and again, just take your spacer, flush with the bottom of the leg here, bring your stringer over to it. Once it's there, 3 staples. And we're done, guys. That's a 3-tier planter, all cedar. Got about $12 into it. Not even really, because we do have some scrap. And then, of course, this here is all the waste we had from this whole video. That's it. That's not even enough to cook an egg over. So I don't think you'd want to cook an egg over cedar, but you know, hey, if that's what you're into. But guys, these can be also painted. We have done them in Chiefs colors because we're in Missouri. And then put a Chiefs logo on. You'll see that on the thumbnail. Those have been done. We've wood burned people's names into them. Actually, Mom did that for me. She's the artistic one. I'm more autistic. But yeah, I love building these. Thank you guys for all your support. I think we're at 24 subs now. Yeah, so if you have extra pencils, you want to send them to me, I'll put my P.O. box down below. You can send those to me. Greatly appreciate it. I run out of pencils all the time. I take them home, and I have a box at home that I got to bring back, and it's a long story. But so yeah, that's a 3-tier planter. And guys, while we were doing this video, you believe me or not, we got orders for 6 of these to be sold and to be picked up this week. So that's awesome. It's what, 5 weeks until Mother's Day? 4 or 5 weeks to Mother's Day. Perfect Mother's Day gift. And yeah, so we enjoy building it. Does not take all that long, especially once you have the measurements down. The template's made for everything. All you do is trace it and cut it. But yeah, so guys, as always, keep those hands dirty, and we'll see you next time. Bye.